Hello. Today, we're gonna abuse 4-piece wind on Argenti. And you might be thinking, isn't this supposed to be a support set? Yeah, probably, but just trust me here. We're gonna track the number of turns and ults he gets, and it's gonna be hectic, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. Tingyun ult with Dance 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 to advance everyone forward. Argenti pops ult immediately to proc 4-piece wind, but also takes out the first wave, so the next wave spawns before he does, or he takes an action rather, and this way we can also let them hit us for more energy and pop that ult. So now he's taking his first action. We're going to skill and keep that ult in our pocket for after we use Sparkle. Now it's just about activating all our buffs. We're going to pop his ult right away because we don't need to regen any more energy, but also we don't want to lose any more action units. So this will pull him ahead quite a bit. Pop his ult again. And this should clear the first wave and bring him to 0, which means he'll start the next wave on his turn. Drop a nice little gift box on them as well. And now that it's his turn, we can actually use Sparkle's ult. And you can kind of see what the game plan is here. Of course, we're trying to maximize the amount of turns he gets as well as ults. As soon as this action's over, we're going to Robin ult. That way we get the most value out of her advance. It's also important to ult on Argenti here to pull him ahead of Tingyun and Sparkle. Otherwise, he goes behind. And from here on, it's a lot more straightforward. You're pretty much just ulting on Argenti when it's available. You want to avoid using the 180 ult because it means you're missing out on potential eagle action advances. But yeah, the only reason why this works is because Argenti uses his ult way more frequently than any other character. You do lose a lot of single instance damage from not having like a 4-piece streetwise, but it's actually not that big of a deal. They aren't that much of an increase anyway, especially with all the actions he's getting. But this kind of only works in mobbing game modes like Pure Fiction because he gets energy per enemy that he hits. So with an ERR rope, he's easily getting his ult back from just his 90 cost and his skill. I don't think you should try the... Oh, you could try it in MOC or Apocalyptic Shadow, but you might not get great results. I'm going to make a bit of a mistake here, so... These enemies spawn and start hitting us. I should have popped Tingyun's ult immediately, followed by Argenti's, but I don't do it fast enough, which means we get hit one time by this guy, and we overcap, forcing us to use our 180 ults, which is pretty unfortunate because we miss out on at least one more action advance and a wave clear. We do get to see a big 1 million number, but the faster you clear these waves, the faster you put your part into that vulnerability state, so... Even with a 90 cost ult, you should be able to one-shot him anyway, so that 180 doesn't really matter. It's okay though, we're making good time, so we should be able to get at least 2 more turns depending on how lucky we get here. We have guaranteed 100% crit rate with Sparkle's Light Cone and Argenti's innate crit rate buffs. We've still got an Argenti ult in our back pocket, so that should be a guaranteed advance before the cycle ends. If Sparkle gets hit twice, we would be able to advance her with Messenger, but unfortunately our Foxian friend does fall in classic Tingyun fashion. But doesn't matter anymore. This is the final shot, and it'll just be enough. Or actually, it'll be way more than enough. 6 turns, 13 ults. So while we go through the builds, I'll go through a couple disclaimers as well. My Argenti and Robin are both E1. Argenti's E1 isn't as impactful, it's just pretty much, well, 40% crit damage is still not nothing, but Robin's E1 is 24% all-res pen, which is quite impactful. Now, I don't know how much difference that would actually make in Pure Fiction, because even with his 90 cost ult and all those buffs active, like not including Robin's E1, he should be one-shotting those mob waves anyway, but it's still something to keep in mind, and I don't want to act like this is something that everyone has access to. And not just that, most people don't farm 4-piece win, especially not for their DPS characters, because unless you're in that domain for a long time for Jingliu, it's almost always better to have another set on your damage dealers. But if you have 4-piece wind, it's definitely worth a try. I found this very fun, and it's also good for Calyx farming, so there's that as well. Oh yeah, also you probably could use Dance 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 on Sparkle as well for even more actions. Sparkle Cone isn't really that necessary because we're already over capping on crit rate. We're getting a lot of crit damage buffs. But it does require you to have another Dance Dance Dance, which may be even more inaccessible. But at the end of the day, this is just something for fun. You might even have more success with this than I did. I'm pretty lazy with trace farming, so none of them are completely maxed out. Still some room to grow, but almost there. Maybe I should get on that. But anyway, hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.